Shalom Akim. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Shalom. So in this video, I actually want to talk about something that I've been working on for a while now, which that is not taking things personal, man. You need to understand that, within this truth, within this ministry of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we're dealing with a lot of individuals who have all had a different walk and way in life, and you need to understand as well that our people are basically a cursed people, right? The curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and Leviticus chapter 26 have been put upon our people because of the transgressions of the commandments of the Heavenly Father, which we, back in them days, we said we're gonna keep it, man, and we agreed to the terms of what would happen if we would disobey, and truth be told, these curses, have caused a lot of trauma upon our people, man, a lot of trauma, and a lot of basically unconscious and subconscious, behaviors and mannerism that we might not have we all might not have gotten into contact with, in the life that we lived in the world. Me, for instance, when I grew up, amongst Edomites, and they are very, quote unquote soft spoken, right? And not really about being stern and things like that. But in the truth, you get to deal with these things as well, because you get to deal with Jakes, that have grown up amongst, those type of Jakes, or that have grown up, with their parents being a certain way. And in the beginning, when I was not really used to that, I got like emotional because of those things, man. And then there are multiple things that you can do. In the word they say fight, flight, freeze. But then also having the understanding of you being the truth. Not necessarily wanting to be out of order, and basically react in a certain way, which is basically not the correct way of handling situations, and as you grow more and more into this truth, and you basically distance yourself from these emotions, which that's a part that I've been learning to deal with over time. Why? Because it's not necessary, man. It's not necessary. It's like a strange way of me trying to explain it, but it's like the way that someone else, reacts to things doesn't necessarily always have to do with you, man. It might also be something that is from within them, which can be a trauma, or a certain personality trait that they're actually dealing with, or something that they used to do in the world because of who they surrounded themselves with. But if you, basically get offended by that, and you take it personally, because what you do then is you make it personal. You basically put it upon yourself, like, hey, something that I've done or something. But that's not necessarily always the case, man. So what I actually want to go into in this video is the fact that we have to stop taking things so personal and just basically look at it in a very objective way. I remember a couple of weeks ago, I was trying to explain something to a brother, and the way that he reacted at first was like, yeah, I know that, I'm not stupid, And in the beginning I was like, so why, I was thinking that, like why do you react in that way? It's not necessary. But then I was thinking like, ah, might not even have been about myself, but basically the way that I try to um, explain him something might have triggered something within him, that he was dealing with himself, ever since he was young, man. Something that made him feel in a certain way, in which basically he instantly, got triggered by that and reacted in the way that he did. You know, and in the beginning, you might have a hard time, not taking it personal, because like, hey, you could like why do you react do you react like that and in that way? But once you start to objectify things and don't take things so personal, you be like, oh, but they also, are dealing with things throughout, basically their whole life, man. They've been dealing with things, they have been struggling with things, they have been uh, um, basically being like, how you say that, they grew up, with certain things, that made them the individual that they are right now, and that they basically also have to shed, because they need to put off that old man and basically be renewed in the mind, which is after Yahweh Shai, man. You know? So, if we stop taking things so personal and we objectify things in a way wherein it is very logical, like, okay, so what is going on? Why is he reacting like this? Is he having a bad day or something? A while ago also, I had a conversation with one of the brothers, and he had car troubles. And then he was in contact with the mechanic, and the mechanic, reacted in a certain, a very harsh way towards the brother. Meanwhile the brother, tried to remain correct, in his conversation, mannerism, and behavior. And then I was talking with the brother, like, hey man, this individual, if he has never done it like this, there must be something that has been going on in his life, man. Something that you don't know about. Then the brother was like, yeah, and that could be, man, could be. Because things that happen in our personal life, affect us as well, man. Even the things from the past, that might have, put some certain way or trauma or whatever upon us, it can remain and be triggered up until this day and age, man. So if we, instead of come towards the brothers with aggression, but instead of that we come with compassion and mercy and understanding. We understand that we all are at fault, man. We all make mistakes. We all do something wrong. But if we are without understanding, that's one. Brothers might not even know what's going on and what they're actually dealing with, and what made them the person that they are. But the moment that they would realize that and start basically working on themselves and looking at, hey, this is, why I am the way that I am, and certain behaviors are not good to have within this truth. Where does it come from? What do I need to be working on to basically, shed off, that generational curse, so to speak. Because a lot of things, truth be told, is like generational curses, man, which basically happen because of the curses coming upon our people, and then being given down from generation upon generation, because that behavior, remained within our people, But if you really look at what the Heavenly Father actually is doing by bringing us in this truth, is setting us back in order, man, like how we, are supposed to be, being brotherly, being lovely, being affectionate, being kind towards who? Towards our fellow brothers, towards our wives, towards our children, having the same love, as the Heavenly Father has, man. Because really the reason why we are in this predicament right now is because we cease to care about the Heavenly Father, man. And ceasing to care means to stop loving the Heavenly Father, because loving the Heavenly Father means, If you love me, keep my commandments. You know, and if you keep the commandments of the Heavenly Father, which is not only about, you know, the 613 laws, but also about the other precepts, but because precepts are commandments. And when you go into Proverbs, when you go, you know, into Ecclesiastes, when you go into Ecclesiasticus or the Book of Sirach, there are advices given about how to behave, man. You know, and if you do that in that way, because truth be told, man, it's not that hard. First and foremost, love the Heavenly Father with all thy mind and with all thy soul, which goes into the keeping of the commandments. You know, and the second is namely like this, you know, which is love the brother as thyself. So treat your neighbor, treat your fellow, you know, a brother within this truth. You know, and back in the days it was concerning the whole nation of Israel. Treat them as you want to be treated. You know, don't fuck another man's wife if you don't want someone else to fuck yours. You know? Like common sense thing. The way that you want to be treated, treat someone else. You know, and upon these two hangeth the whole law. True that it's easy thing to keep, man. You know? But if we, you know, start taking things personal, we start to get into our emotions, man. But we have to look at it from a very objective standpoint, you know, which that does not come with emotions, but comes with logic and understanding, like what is going on, what is actually happening, you know. Why is this brother reacting in this way? You know, why is he always trying to be funny? You know, why is he, you know, childish in certain ways and instances? What is going on? What is making him be like that? You know, meanwhile, it's a very serious thing. You know, is that a certain way for him to deal with that awkward situation in which he feels hella uncomfortable? You know, why is the brother coming in such an aggressive way? You know, why is he, you know, reacting in that manner? You know, what is going on? You know, has it anything to do with me, or is it basically something that I triggered within him to react in that way? You know. So of course there are things that we do, you know, that can be wrong, for which we're gonna be basically corrected. Of course, you know, that is gonna happen because we're gonna keep making mistakes. But when things go on, you know, in a certain way, wherein a brother reacts a certain way out of nowhere, or because you said something, you know, that to you, you know, was not that big of a deal, you know, but he reacts in a certain way, like, hey, okay, so where did that trigger come from, you know? And of course, certain brothers, you know, are not really into, you know, looking at it like that, you know. Certain brothers want to be left alone. They are who they are, you know. But yeah. So yeah, with that, I do hope and pray that this video was edifying. And with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And Shalom to the sincere Akim, spreading his truth in sincerity. Shalom.